I'm so pastel-y.
I'm so monochrome.
Yeah. I was very indecisive about what I wanted to wear today.
I was, and wrongly so.
Oh,
I regret it.
Again, this is another episode of What Season Is It Outside?
What's the weather outside?
What's the weather outside?
Episode whatever the fuck we're on.
Okay. Obviously, this is a Drag Me.
A drag is a service that we provide on our website, partyship.astrology.com/shop is where you go straight to the good stuff.
I think we're out of stock right now.
On drag me's.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know actually.
Just because we had a few, and
yeah.
I think they sold.
The 8th house placement video is coming.
It is coming.
We filmed everything that has to do with the 8th house, and we film a lot, so we got lots to edit, and it takes a little time.
But so far, I'm like 50 minutes in, but that's really not even close to the end. But I made a good dent, so it'll be up soon, and I should be editing more. I get my clothes from lots of different places. Depop is right now the place to go because Depop sellers are desperate. Have you noticed?
No.
I've noticed that, at least the ones that I follow, there's like an oversaturation of like a lot of similar stuff. And so everybody's like putting all their stuff on crazy discounts because there's an oversaturation of sellers. Yeah. So now everything is so cheap, like the actual price we probably would get it at a thrift store. Yeah, like it's actually gone back to normal because everybody's like, fuck, so.
Yeah. No, I just Google like pet.
Right.
Or not Google. Depop?
No, I do the same thing. Yeah, I'll do the same thing too. But I recently started following them because everybody's fucking putting on some crazy ass discounts.
I do have some people like slide into my Depop DMs, which I would never check, that says, hey, feel free to make an offer. Everything has to go.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times. We're just waiting for Ryan to come in.
Yes. He said to shoot him an email.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's easier.
Oh, well.
That was crazy. I forgot.
Welcome to your drag me. Let's get into it, shall we?
Yes.
So what have we got going here?
Cancer rising, Cancer moon, Gemini sun. Did we know somebody?
Moon in the 1st house.
Was this what's his name same day? Glenn?
Oh, maybe. Who remembers fucking Glenn?
Because I know he was a Gemini sun, Cancer moon. I just don't know how old he was.
He might have, this is 95. He might have been years old. This could be Glenn.
I don't know.
Mercury retrograde in Gemini. What's your interception? Let me see. Libra, Aries interception. Quality interception. Great.
Oh, same left side as you.
Oh, hey, yeah. Double Virgo, double Pisces.
Yeah.
Yeah, this eclipse is gonna hit you good.
Okay, so not only are you just like a Cancer rising, which is obviously like just fucking Cancer, you're right there, but it's also emphasized by your moon. And
the 1st house.
It is like the same degree. It's like within the same degree. So like you, I feel like are just so annoying to like not, like it's so hard to like not upset you. Like I feel like everybody's always walking on thin ice around you. You know what I mean?
It's just you're overly sensitive. So it's the most sensitive. Yeah. You're sensitive on the outside. You're sensitive on the inside. You're sensitive to like sound, smells. You're sensitive to feelings and words. Sticks and stones will break your bones, and words will hurt you. Deeper. Yeah, there's no either or.
That's funny, yeah. And like you are autistic, so that makes sense that you're just like ridiculously times 10 sensitive to your surroundings. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Libra Aries interception as well. Like Libra specifically, the Libra interception can speak to maybe some of your like social
for sure.
Uneasiness or like social, I'm not sure what to do here. Social anxiety, basically.
Yeah. Or just like what to give and take in a relationship. You know?
Yeah, that too. What is a real relationship? People, understanding people too, because you don't have like much to compensate from what I see. You have Uranus and Neptune in the 7th, and no like normal fucking personal planets in the 7th to like give you some Libra energy. and you don't have any planets in Libra. So everything having to do with people is super confusing to you because you just got 2 malefic planets sitting in your 7th house, Libra interception, no personal planets in Libra.
Yeah, and since it's a drag, I feel like what you do to compensate for that, since you're Gemini, is just talk. It's just like your compensation of I don't know what to do here is like I'm just gonna keep talking.
But also double Virgo, double Pisces. You're like, I
I'm
don't
just
understand.
analyze
Yeah,
it.
I'm just gonna analyze it. I'm not gonna like take at all a human approach or empathetic approach. Well, Pisces maybe, but like Pisces also is like totally not in touch with like
what is actually going on. Yeah.
So you're either like, I'm just gonna guess Pisces side, or I'm just gonna like dig really deep into it and look at straight facts and none of like
just overanalyze every little thing ever. And then just like bounce it around in my head for centuries.
So, and this is another autistic trait, is if you don't have rules, you're like, I don't know what to do. At least Shaina, that's like what something that Shaina tells me is that like she needs the rules to, and if the rules are not specifically laid out, AKA if you don't got the double Virgo to explain why the Libra's not there, what do you do?
Yeah, you're somebody who I feel like does the same thing as me, that like I drive people crazy by being like, why? Why did they do this? Why? Why did you do that? Yeah, I don't like, and sometimes people are just like, I just did. And I'm like, no, but why? Like, I need to know the exact reason behind every single little thing that you did or every single little thing that like is going on. Like, if something doesn't have a reason, I'm like, no, it has to. And it's so annoying, and it's annoying for me too. And I feel like you do that to yourself. Like, you need to find a reason for everything.
I have a Libra interception, and because I'm a first generation American, pretty much everything that I felt like I was doing socially was wrong growing up. And that's like really ingrained into like a social anxiety with me. So I have double Virgo as well. So I'm just like, tell me exactly what I need to do in the social situation. Like, give me the rules, the details.
Like,
otherwise I'll be like,
no, and not just like, but also like where to go. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. I was just at fucking the coffee shop. They don't deserve a shout out from me. I was just at a coffee shop. And so I didn't know like where to walk to like wait for it, and I ended up like waiting on the other side. I'm such a fucking awkward person. Like, when I try to tell people how fucking awkward I am, they're like, pretty girl says she's awkward to be cute. And I'm like, no.
It's not cute. It's annoying. People that respond to it like, oh, I'm so cute. People are like, are you a fucking idiot that was just born yesterday? And you're like, I think I am. I know the exact thing that you're talking about.
Yeah.
People, It's so funny.
It's like, oh man, I'm just, I'll say like, I'm a recovering awkward kid. Which, like alcoholics, is a constant recovery.
So annoying.
It's so annoying. I don't say it like a fucking
but you think
face.
it.
But I said it once, and the person I said it to was like, "Oh, get the fuck out of your fucking bottle model club hoe bitch," because that was my club hoe bitch bottle model days.
I mean, you're weak.
It was a solid like Leo through Virgo season.
That's true. Okay.
But yeah, you don't have the advantage of being a pretty girl. AKA, you don't have the advantage of any 7th house or Libra energy.
Yeah.
So you're just extra like weird and anxious.
Okay, I feel like your Mars sucks. Like, I want to check your Mars. It's trash. It's Virgo, which is already annoying. Like, you use all that, but I feel like you just talk so much. Like, I feel like that's your, like, not only do you talk so much, but I remember once in Alicia Sharp's videos of Cancer Rising, she talked about, like, how Cancer Rising slowed down conversation. And then she was like, oh, it's not Cancer Rising. This is that blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it is, but I think that some Cancer, like, I think Cancer Risings 100% have the potential to slow down conversation. Definitely. The more that, I don't think that it's like a surefire thing, because, like, I talk fast as shit, but I 100% have started a story and been like, oh, this is going really slow. So I feel like what you do is you kind of do this thing because you have like so much to say, because you have so much Gemini, you have so much Virgo energy, and especially when you're upset, or if you know when you know you're right, you want to tell everybody you're right, And so you're gonna do this thing of like everybody's talking about it, and then you're gonna be like you're not going to let something go. Like, let's say somebody's like, oh, 2 + 2 is 3. And you're like, no, 2 + 2 is 4. And everybody moves on. They keep on talking. You're going to be like, whoa, wait. And you're going to like make everybody stop talking. You're going to be like, let me tell you why 2 + 2 = 4. And everybody's going to be like, nobody, like, we've all moved on.
I just feel like you need every detail laid out always.
Yeah.
To the point of like your Mercury in Gemini is retrograde. So it's in its domicile, but it's also retrograde. So I feel like you just like do the most when it comes to Mercury.
You talk to yourself so much, like probably audibly maybe, or just really loudly in your head. Like you have to, like you already have Cancer rising, and like Gemini in the 12th already gives like 2 voices in your head. Yeah. Like I definitely have 2 voices. Yeah. You know, so I feel like you already have that, but then it's like times a billion because your Mercury is retrograde in there. So I feel like your head never shuts up, and like just kills you.
Yeah. And like you are probably obviously Cancer rising, Gemini in the 12th, especially with Gemini Mercury in there and Gemini Sun.
Yeah. Cusping the 12th, so you feel a little.
It's like you're so awkward in person and so just like closed off because you can't even like begin to handle what's going on in your surroundings. But when you're alone, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to tell this person this. I have so many ideas and I have to say this and that. And like your brain is just like go. And so when you're in the shower, you're like, when I'm on Ellen, I'm going to say this to Ellen and that to Ellen. If you ever were to be on Ellen, you would be like, you'd clam up.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's more of a 10th house thing, honestly, to specifically be on Ellen. But like, if you're thinking about
in a situation like that, like if you were to think of an argument with a person that you're gonna have, you know what I mean? You're gonna set that and be like, I know exactly what I'm gonna say. Mars and Virgo in the 3rd house, thinking this out in the shower, and then when it comes to it, it's just gonna be like something's gonna go wrong. Like they're gonna say something you weren't expecting, or like maybe they'll be like, it'll be at a different time, or just something will happen, it'll throw you off completely, and then like that's when you'll clam up. Mm-hmm. I'm quite in group studying and calculating the best response, which makes sense. I feel like you can have this issue of either you don't talk at all or you don't shut up. Yeah. Like you don't talk, and then somebody is like, hey, do you like this? And you're like, oh, and then it goes on forever. But back to your Mars in Virgo in the 3rd. That's just you have so much mercurial energy. Mm-hmm. If it's not Cancer, it's just like mercurial or like thinky. It's like heady, airy. Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay, and it's also, your Mars is badly aspected. Wait, where is it? Fuck, hold on. Mars square Pluto, Sun square Mars, Mars square Jupiter. This is something that I was thinking about with Mars square Sun. I don't know if this is a drag, but this is just something that I just was thinking about. People with Sun square Mars, and I think will like be completely incorrectly estimated with their physical ability. Like, maybe it doesn't mean that like, I don't know how it's going to be, but like an example would be like, oh, this person would be terrible at like building this. Let's have them instead lift this. But they're completely wrong and they're terrible at lifting, but they're great at building. It's a very like, and like forever you're always going to be given like the wrong physical tasks to do. Yeah. You never put in your strengths. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like in any situation that you're in, your strengths are never being shown. That's actually a big autism thing that actually me and my roommate talked about. And I just want to go on a really quick little thing about is like at work and how like especially like the corporations are not smart in how they use their workers at all. And like somebody like me, they would always try to put in front. Mm-hmm. And I'm like I need to be operational. Like they don't, like people don't understand how to use people with autism. Like they're so bad with it. And it's like, you just give us all the tasks that you don't want to do. Because those are what we do want to do. Like it's just like so simple, but whatever. And I feel like that's a situation that you get caught in a lot. Anyways, let's see here.
So Venus and Virgo. Taurus. First, I need to give a real quick shout out because every single fucking drag me, I've been asking for Luke P's birth chart. And someone gave it to me. Shout out A Booth with a couple of numbers behind your name, whatever. She gave me his chart. Obviously Pisces stuff was rampant there. But Venus in Taurus. which making Venus and Taurus is not so wholesome as we like to think it is.
Oh yeah, it can get possessive.
Exactly, it can get very possessive, and like where Scorpio Venus wants to meld into one. Venus and Taurus will treat it more like property.
Yeah, like possession.
Possession, exactly. Yeah. Like you are mine. And that's what Hannah always has to live. It's like my body is mine. You can't tell me what to do with my body. So that's the true tea on the, especially in this day and age, that dating is so different. Dating is a Gemini Venus's game nowadays. Venus and Taurus is like thrown out of its element because they're like, I can't make someone my property.
Yeah. But
I can't tell a woman what to do with her body. What?
Yeah.
I'm a Taurus. I move slow. Sorry, I'm a Taurus Venus. I move slow. I'm not hip with this Venus and Gemini dating game. I want to own someone. That's what marriage is.
Yeah. You, me, forever and always. I'm here. You better be here.
You're mine.
You're mine. Duh. That's why we signed that's why you fucking signed the paper.
These women with their Me Too and they're trying to. Okay,
no. Okay, here. Is there anything specifically you want us to drag?
Yeah. Uranus retrograde. That's just like, you don't realize how fucking weird you are. You're like, this is fine. This is normal. I can be this way, and everyone's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And you're like,
especially like in the 7th house, you're like,
yeah.
Where? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
What's the other way?
You're weird.
Yeah.
You're the one who's being strange. This is not how I operate.
Yeah. And that makes sense, actually, for Uranus retrograde in the 7th house as well, of like other people bringing chaos into your life, in the sense of like, if you're alone and you're by yourself, there's not much chaos, but it seems like everybody else just wants to make your life crazy, but everybody else sees you as the person that makes their life crazy.
But you're totally happy. You're totally, you're chilling. You're in your own little world, wherein it's just you. But from an outside perspective, people are like, what? And you're like, what do you mean, you what? I'm fine. Luke P is the stupidest person.
Neptune retrograde in the 7th probably has a similar thing of like you see such a vivid imagination, like how do I explain? Like it's like that same thing of like somebody's like, your imagination is ridiculous, like this makes no sense, and you're like, it's crazy, but it makes complete sense. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Neptune retrograde is like, this is one of the lesser spoken about placements that will lean towards escapism and addiction. Just because Neptune retrograde people just want to escape into their own, just like prefer daydreaming. Yeah. Like that's how their Neptune works. It doesn't work in an intuitive psychic way. It works in an internal, like wants to daydream kind of way. So I feel like since it's in your house of relationships, you're just like, I'd rather just think about relationships all the time and not do anything. I'd rather just like imagine my perfect property of a partner.
Yeah.
But doing that for real sounds like a lot of words. Sounds like disappointing.
Yeah. Neptune just want to be disappointed. And a lot of times when things become reality, it means disappointment.
Yeah.
So you'll probably keep things in your head for like as long as possible. And you'll probably think and idealize that you want something. And then if or when it does come, you'll be like, I forgot that you have your own opinions and emotions and your own life before me.
Yeah. What do you mean? Never mind, I'm not gonna go there. Let me look at some aspects.
My visual memory is intense. Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. I'm trying to think. Let's see. What are your rising? What are your moon aspects?
Moon sextile Venus, opposite Neptune, conjunct ascendant, obviously.
Okay, well then let's just. Oh, I'm sorry. And I just want to spend more time on the Cancer rising moon conjunct thing.
Yeah.
Because not only is that a bitch for everybody to deal with, but that's also just like a bitch for you to deal with.
Yeah.
Because it's already annoying as shit, like being Cancer rising and having a moon aspect to my rising. But then like having it just right on top of it is like way too vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because like the only thing that gets me through is like whatever's showing on my face is wrong, right? Like I'm like, at least I know that they don't understand it at all. Like as much as I hate it, it's at least nice because it's almost more embarrassing if they did a lot of times. But for you, you don't get that same courtesy of like, wow, nobody understands it, so they think it's this normal thing, but it's this weird thing. Everybody's just like, it's this weird thing.
No, they see it and it's accurate. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And
it's
that's that can be so embarrassing, especially as a Cancer rising, because most of the times that you're having like little things, it's for something dumb and embarrassing. You know?
So if anyone asks you like, what's wrong? Then you'd have to like say something really stupid.
Oh yeah, you're probably the worst liar in the entire world because your emotions are right there. Like,
and your Mercury is like, it's, you know, the little like mischievous manipulative sign Gemini, right? But it's retrograde. So I wonder, like, I just feel like you make yourself look so suspicious even when you don't have to.
right.
Because your emotions are right on your face.
Yeah.
And if you try to cover it up with any logic, it's just like, it doesn't go well and people can like tell that you're lying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I have to tell partial truths with my lies since I wear my emotions. I used to actually, that's how I used to do it as a kid too.
I make myself look so suspicious just by like withholding, because like with Aquarius stuff, I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna withhold what I don't want you to know about. But because my emotions are right on my face, I'm just like, I look so suspicious. I look like I'm trying to hide something that's like way more serious than
it actually is. Yeah.
It's like, did you kill someone? No, I just like you.
That's so funny. Yeah, Cancer. Well, we all know how I feel about Cancer moons and the side of Cancer in general.
Rip it.
I don't know what it's also Cancer season, which is so annoying. Okay, let's talk. I want to drag the Cancer feeling of like, and I found myself falling into this the last few days, and this is such a like Cancer season, Cancer rising, Cancer moon thing of like, somebody says something's gonna go, blah, 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 and there's a miscommunication, there's a misinterpretation, right, blah, 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 but your side is like, they did this, so that you're interpreting it as though it wasn't like something was wrong. This is a terrible explanation. Okay, hold on, Okay. Just if you think somebody hurt you, tell them. You know, but like Cancer rising, Cancer moon will like boil with it and like not say anything. And
especially
then and then a lot of times it's just a miscommunication or a misinterpretation. Because Cancer rising, Cancer moon, even Virgo Mars, it's so sensitive. And like Virgo Mars is gonna analyze everything. So you constantly just like analyzing and taking all this stuff and like you constantly be like, why is everybody constantly personally attacking me all the time? And it like 5% of the time is actually a personal attack on you.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's what I mean. And if you were just like to communicate with people about like really what's going on and what you're actually feeling, you might notice something different. But Cancer can be so like, they shouldn't.
Cancer is also the sign before Leo. So in terms of an evolution of the sign's perspective, where Leo takes on the stage and is like, I am so deserving of all of this praise, blah, blah, blah. Cancer is kind of secretly craving that and not feeling like they ever have enough without all the confidence that Leo has. Sure. So something that I found myself feeling during this Cancer season was like super misunderstood. And I was just like, no one, because I don't want to make this a rant because it's about you guys. It's about all of you guys who comment where the fucking 8th house stuff is. And I was just like, no one understands how hard we work. And that this isn't our full-time job. And like no one ever just thanks. I mean, people do thank us, which is why I snapped out of it. But in my moment of like Cancer season, I was like, no one ever just says, thank you. Everyone's just demanding more. Do my placement in the 8th house. I'm a triple Scorpio. Can you do Venus and Gemini Capricorn rising video? Like, why the fuck would we do that? And I was having like a pissy moment. And that's because Cancer comes before Leo. So in Cancer energy, you're like, people are apologizing. So Cancer is like Stewie, like, where's my attention?
Yeah, maybe not recognition sometimes, but
where's my attention? Where's the appreciation for all I do? Because it's also the opposite of Capricorn, which is just like, I do. I get recognition because I do it. I don't care if I don't, but I need, like, there's never enough recognition for Capricorn in the sense of like, I just need to do better and better and better and get more and more and more. For Cancer, there's never enough recognition because there just will never be enough.
Yeah. For Capricorn, it's never, there's never enough recognition for the amount they work. It never evens up.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's Saturn in the 10s too.
I see that in Capricorn. I see that in Capricorn. Yeah. I used to bottle things up, but I've learned to remove myself from a situation and then rejoin under clear thoughts. Same. I did the same thing. I just have to like walk away and come back. Me first attitude, guilty. Yeah, definitely. Especially with Moon in the first house. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, your mom coddled the shit out of you. I don't know why. I feel like you have a Pluto aspect to your Moon because she coddled you and protected you too much. I don't know if you do or not. Oh no, you don't.
You have a Pluto aspect to your Venus, I think.
Oh yeah. I feel like your mom coddled and protected you way too much. And because of it, you're so unready for anything that comes at you.
And it is opposite Neptune, so it's like the real world.
Yeah, she coddled you from the real world. Yeah, she let you like live in this fantasy, dream, like emotional place where like all emotions are accepted. Yeah. Like just tell me your feelings, like get it out as much as you can. Like it's fine. Like yes, and then like going into the world, you're like, this isn't how the real world works. Why is it weird to cry all the time over small things?
A lot of people who put their life like family vloggers, they record their births of their children, and then they post the birth time. And I'm like, oh yes, let's see what's gonna happen. Yes. One of these people has a child who's a Cancer Sun Capricorn Moon, and she was making a video about like how to handle the terrible twos. Why do I watch this content? I don't know what happened to your own son. Anytime soon. But she was saying like, so when she throws her tantrums, Cancer rising sun in the first one, when she throws her tantrums, Cancer, she just doesn't know yet that is not the way that we behave. She literally said she hasn't learned how to control her emotions yet. Like, I haven't Capricorn mooned her enough yet.
Yeah.
So you don't have that like control your emotions yet because you've got that Cancer moon and then rising all in the first house. So your mom was never had the thought of like, honey, we don't throw tantrums here. Or maybe she just quickly learned that wasn't going to work. And she was like, oh, baby, it's okay. Or maybe she was like, my mom never let me cry. So
that's what I think it is. I think it's like my mom never let me cry, so I'm letting you. Yeah. And you said my mom still lays down the law, which makes sense because it's trine Saturn. So her being like letting you have emotions is not the same as like, I'm not saying you got away with everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like those are two different things. Like you probably didn't get away with most things because your moon is trine Saturn. And I think, but she let you have emotional outbursts. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you almost too much, I feel like, because it is. I feel like you were just like so, I don't know, one of my cousins was really sheltered as a kid. And then like, I feel like, okay, I'm just going to tell the story because I feel like this is like very similar to something that reminds me of you, of like, he was super into the army and stuff, like super into like video games and like all that kind of stuff. And he was like, did all that army stuff he was great at. I'm not saying that this is what you would do, but I'm saying like this situation, not the army, but this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So then he went off to the Navy and he was doing all the training. And then he actually was like going to be like getting ready to go through the last thing before he got like some Marine test or something. And he then realized how real it was and what he would actually have to be doing. And like, oh shit, like life isn't, he had this kind of, I think, a whole revelation of like, life isn't a video game. Like life isn't the shelter thing. Like there's actually like all this stuff is real. And like he couldn't do it anymore, which is what he spent like all blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that's something that would happen to you. You know what I mean? Of like, oh, like having that whole, like that
oh, wow, this is real life.
Of like, yeah, and I don't know if that's hit you yet or if it already has or if it will. Like, that's a moment that I could see you having. I don't know. Anyways. Yeah.
We've got like 3 minutes left. So if you have anything specific that you want us to drag, Ryan, because this is Ryan's drag.
And no, we're not together. We're friends.
No. 2 girls sitting on a couch must be scissoring each other.
Let's see. Saturn in the 9th house, I think, would just be annoying to be around after a while because, like, anytime you'd be like, but what about? They'd be like, no.
Yeah.
That's literally the entire rose. Like, that's just how I feel about it. But that's not a rose.
Or anything like, yeah. And also, even if they're not like, well, what about? Even if they're not asking you your opinion, you know, like, oh, I made a vision board yesterday. Come on.
Exactly.
Did you really? You bought a reading from 2 girls who sit on their couch and only see mean things about you. Yeah, but it's got real science to back it up. Unlike vision boards. They know what they're talking about. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
That's really sweet of you.
Nina's been needing a compliment like that for a while, as you can tell.
No, I had a moment. I got it.
No, I don't think it's fun. I really don't mind. Yep, I see negatives faster than positives. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
It's just like the most amount of skepticism you could possibly have in the most open-minded house, you know?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. The most amount of skepticism you could have in the most open-minded house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very close-minded. That makes sense also. Obviously, like, scared to try new things. That is such a fear of trying new things, that placement. I never thought about that.
Also, like, where you have Sagittarius is, like, the unhappiest place for Sagittarius to be. Sagittarius hates being in the 6th house. It's like, no. Why would you put me here?
Why would you put rules in the house of, like, why would you put freedom in the house of rules?
Yeah, and regulation. Well, yeah.
Positives actually result in not a neutral phase, or I go off the chart if I'm astonished. Wait, ask me to compromise? Lol. Yeah, Venus and Taurus, and all of it also opposite Pluto. I feel like it makes the stubborn and makes it deeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just like I want to own it. It's like I need to. Also, innermost part of my being.
The combination of Venus and Taurus and your like Neptune in the 7th house / Pisces energy is exactly what Luke P is dealing with, and why when Hannah sends him home, he's like, "No, I'm gonna come back."
Yeah, you would totally come back after getting eliminated. You were the little kid that you're like, I didn't lose. And you like kept on trying.
I still want to be here. It's not working out between us. No, but I want to move mountains for you.
No, but like, you know the little kid in class whenever you be playing a game?
Yes.
That like, when they got out and they refused to be out. They were like, that was you. Like, you would want to keep playing.
Especially if it was like Foursquare or something. Yeah. Where, like, when you were out, the next person was in like, no, I don't want to have to wait in line to go again.
Also, it's not fair. You're always like everybody else. They're not being fair. I feel like that was your go-to call. You know what I mean? Like, not because you believed it, not from like a Libra Mars. Like, it's not, but just because like
because to you, it didn't feel fair. Little Cancer moon.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Lol, so true. For the person asking you to drag your chart, we sell this reading at practicalastrology.com/shop. And we might have one still in stock. I don't know. We either have like 1, 2, or 0.
We're doing this new thing where we put in like the numbers that we have in stock. It's great.
Sometimes. This time.
We're doing this thing right now. Specifically isolated.
Might be doing more in the future. Might not be. Anyways, yes.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the end. That's the end of your reading. Your chart dragged me.
Thank you so much for purchasing this.
Yes.
And thank you so much for your patience.
Yes.
Because we had a lot of these to go through. And still do.
Yeah, and thank you. You DM me sometimes and just want to say hi. Thank you for buying this chart reading, and we hope you enjoyed it and had fun and laughed at yourself or just felt bad. I don't know. I feel like you're somebody who might like message us and be like, hey, can you take it down? No, Gemini will always have a good enough sense of humor. I feel like, I feel like you're good. Okay, anyways.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
and